Okay, so today we're diving into this really beautiful story within a story. It's a novella that connects two different generations through love, war, and some truly incredible courage. Let's get into the tale of 5B Poppy Lane.
And right at the heart of it all is this one powerful question. Can you actually love someone who represents everything you think you stand against? You know, it's that classic battle between your head and your heart, and honestly, it's what drives this entire story.
So, let's kick things off with our main character in the present day, who is caught in this exact situation. It's a dilemma that's going to force her to question pretty much everything she believes in.
Meet Ruth Shelton. She's a university student, an idealist, and you gotta understand, her core belief, the thing that defines her, is that all war is fundamentally wrong. She is a passionate pacifist, through and through.
Okay, so here's what makes this story so cool. It's structured around two parallel love stories. In the present, you've got Ruth, the pacifist, and Paul, the Marine. Their conflict is totally internal. It's this huge battle between her beliefs and her feelings. But then we jump into the past, and we follow Marie and Jean-Claude. They were resistance fighters, and their conflict was brutally external, their love versus the entire Nazi occupation.
So you're probably thinking, how on earth does a committed anti-war activist even end up meeting a soldier, right? Well, their story doesn't start face-to-face. It starts in a mailbox.
Believe it or not, it all kicks off with this simple, almost contradictory act of kindness. Even with her strong beliefs, Ruth sends a Christmas card to a soldier she's never even met, a U.S. Marine named Paul Gordon. Just a small gesture that, well, is going to change her entire life.
And that one little card, it sparks this whole correspondence. As they start writing back and forth, sharing their lives, Ruth begins to see past the uniform. She discovers Paul, the person, thoughtful, kind, and just deeply human. And against everything she stands for, she starts to fall in love.
So now Ruth is completely torn. I mean, what do you do when you fall for someone who represents the very thing you're against? She needs guidance, and that journey leads her to her grandmother's house and to a secret family history that's about to change her perspective on everything.
She travels to 5B Poppy Lane to see the one person she thinks might understand her conflicted heart, her grandmother, Helen. And she just pours it all out. The story, the guilt, the confusion over falling for Paul. But here's the thing. Helen doesn't just give her some simple advice. Nope. She says something that completely floors Ruth. And it's in this moment that Ruth realizes her grandmother gets this on a level she never, ever could have imagined. This is where the story really takes off.
And then she drops this absolute bombshell. The sweet, gentle grandma that Ruth has known her entire life reveals this unbelievable past. She says she wasn't always Helen. During World War II, her name was Marie, and she was a fighter in the French resistance. Just wow!
And just like that, the story flips. We are pulled back in time to Nazi-occupied France, a world of unimaginable danger, where finding love was this desperate, beautiful act of hope in the absolute darkest of times.
And let's be super clear about the stakes here. The French resistance wasn't a game. It was a secret network of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And if you got caught, the penalty wasn't just prison, it was torture and almost certain death. That was the world Marie was living in.
I mean, just look at what Marie and her comrades were doing. They were hiding Allied soldiers, sabotaging German operations, passing secrets to the Allies, and helping families escape the Nazis. Every single day was a tightrope walk between life and death.
And yet, somehow, in the middle of all that terror and uncertainty, she found love. She met a man named Jean-Claude, another resistance fighter, someone just as brave and committed as she was. Their romance literally blossomed in the shadows, like this tiny light pushing back against all that darkness.
But as you can imagine, love stories that start during a war, they often end in heartbreak. And tragically, Jean-Claude was killed in action. He gave his life fighting for freedom, leaving Marie to carry on, having lost the great love of her life to the sheer brutality of it all.
But you see, this isn't just a tragic story from the past. Helen is telling Ruth all of this for a reason. She's giving her granddaughter the key to finally understanding her own heart.
Through her own painful experience, Helen passes on this hard-earned wisdom, and it really boils down to three key things. First, soldiers are individuals. They're not just walking ideologies. Second, war is incredibly complex, and sometimes fighting true evil is necessary. And maybe most important of all, true love can, and does, rise above politics and circumstance.
And this right here is the absolute core of her message. She helps Ruth see that Paul isn't just the military. He is an individual person with his own values and his own heart, exactly like Jean-Claude was.
And when Ruth hears this from the one woman she trusts most, it's like a light bulb just goes on. She finally gets it. Loving Paul doesn't mean she's betraying her values. It actually deepens her understanding of how complex the world really is. Her grandmother's story gives her the permission she needed to finally love without guilt.
So the story leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? It's this amazing reminder that the people in our lives, especially our parents and grandparents, they carry entire histories inside them that we might know nothing about. Their own adventures, their own heartbreaks, their own incredible moments of courage. It really makes you wonder, right? What hidden stories do the people you love carry?